What am I even doing? Why am I here? What's the point of all this? You stare at the ceiling. You look at your job, your struggles, your routine, and you feel empty, lost, tired, burnt out. And in that dark silence, the most dangerous thought creeps in. Maybe I was not meant for more. Maybe I'll stay stuck like this forever. But let me declare something into your spirit today. You are not lost. You are being redirected. You are not failing. You are being refined. And the very thing you have despised, the work in front of you, is not your punishment, it is your preparation. The lie we were taught about work. Since childhood, society drilled a deadly lie into our minds, that work is something you endure until retirement, that you work just to collect a paycheck, to pay bills, to survive. And in this lie, work becomes slavery. Work becomes misery. Work becomes the cage people drag themselves into every Monday morning. No wonder so many feel lost. No wonder so many live lives of quiet desperation, crying silently on the inside while pretending on the outside. But I tell you the truth, work was never meant to be your chain. Work was meant to be your chisel. It shapes you. It carves you. It pulls out of you strength you didn't know you had. When you see work as a curse, you waste your days. But when you see work as a calling, you find purpose even in the smallest task. The secret most never discover. Do you know why so many die with regrets? Because they never discovered that work itself can be worshiped. Work itself can be growth. Work itself can be the laboratory where you become the person you always dreamed of. I'm not talking about the title of your job. I'm not talking about the size of your salary. I'm talking about the discipline, the persistence, the problem solving, the focus, the endurance, the service to others, all the invisible muscles you build through work. You see, your spirit doesn't grow when life is easy. Your destiny doesn't unlock when everything is comfortable. It is through the sweat of work, the grind of consistency, the sacrifice of effort that the gates of greatness swing open. Lost or being built? Let me ask you, when you say, I feel lost, are you really lost, or are you simply in training? Because the greatest warriors of history were once raw recruits. The greatest leaders were once clumsy students. The greatest millionaires once sat broke at their desks, wondering if life had forgotten them. But they all had this one turning point. They stopped seeing their work as meaningless, and they began to see it as their workshop. Every frustration was a lesson. Every long hour was a test. Every mistake was a teacher. And slowly, they built a new identity, forged in fire, hammered by discipline. So if you feel lost right now, hear me. You are in the middle of your construction zone. God is building something inside you through this very work you despise. Why you cannot escape work? You may dream of riches, of freedom, of ease. But listen, there is no freedom without work first. Even the wealthiest, even the most successful, did not bypass the grind. They transmuted it. They shifted it. They took work that looked meaningless and they squeezed out of it the lessons that later made them unstoppable. If you run from work, you run from your destiny. If you curse your work, you curse your preparation. But if you embrace your work, even when it is boring, even when it feels small, you open a doorway into realms of wealth, wisdom, and greatness that most will never see. The story of the stonecutter. Let me tell you the story of the stonecutter. Every day, he hammered at a massive rock. 1 strike, 2 strikes, 10 strikes, 100, 1,000, and nothing seemed to change. People laughed at him. Why waste your time? That rock will never break. But he kept swinging. Then one day, with one final strike, the rock split wide open. Now, was it that last strike that broke it? No. It was every strike before it, every swing, every day of persistence. Work feels the same. You may not see the result today. You may not see it tomorrow. But every day of persistence, every act of discipline is a strike against the rock of mediocrity. And one day suddenly you break through. Redefining work. So I ask you today, what if you've been seeing work wrong? What if work is not a cage but a compass? What if your lostness is not a dead end but a redirection? The difference between those who live average and those who rise to greatness is not talent. It is not luck. It is not education. It is their relationship with work. The average man complains about it. The great man uses it. The average man endures it. The great man transforms through it. Your shift starts now. If you are feeling lost in life right now, here is your shift. Do not despise the work in front of you. Do not curse the job that pays you little. Do not run from the grind that feels meaningless. Instead, ask yourself, what is this teaching me? What muscle is this building? What lesson is hidden here? Because once you see work this way, you are never lost again. You are in training. You are being built. And one day soon, you will look back and realize that this lost season was not wasted. It was the foundation of your fortune. So, to the one feeling lost, tired, and burdened, lift up your head. You are not forgotten. You are not useless. You are in the workshop of destiny. And when you emerge, you will not just have survived. You will have been transformed. My friends, lean in close, because today I must reveal a mystery that will completely transform how you see your life's journey. When you feel lost, it is not because God has abandoned you. It is not because your destiny has been canceled. It is because you are in a season where the meaning is not yet visible, but the shaping is already happening. And the tool heaven uses to shape you, it is called work. The hidden curriculum of work. You see, there are two schools in life, the school of knowledge and the school of transformation. The school of knowledge gives you degrees, certificates, and recognition. But the school of transformation, that one gives you resilience, strength, character, and wisdom. And the curriculum of transformation is always written in the language of work. Think about it. When you face long hours, your patience is stretched. When you face demanding tasks, your creativity is sharpened. When you deal with difficult people, your emotional intelligence is forged. When you labor with little results, your persistence is tested. Every invisible quality that makes a man or woman powerful is carved into their soul through work. So if you feel like you're doing too much for too little, congratulations. You're in class. You're being taught lessons that the lazy will never know. The seasons of work. Now hear this carefully. Work has seasons, just like nature. There is the season of sowing, where you labor but see no fruit. There is the season of watering, where you nurture what you planted, but growth still seems slow. There is the season of waiting, where everything looks dead but deep roots are forming. And finally, the season of harvest, where suddenly everything you touched begins to multiply. The danger is that most people quit during the season of sowing and watering. They walk away because they see no instant reward. They confuse the waiting season for failure. But the wise, the ones who rise to greatness, understand the harvest always comes, but only to those who refuse to abandon their field. The illusion of ease. Let me tell you a painful truth. Ease is an illusion. Many think the goal of life is to work so they can one day do nothing. But ask those who do nothing, they will tell you it is the fastest path to emptiness. The soul withers without challenge. The spirit shrinks without responsibility. The body deteriorates without motion. Ease robs you of growth. Work gives you expansion. That is why the great men and women of history did not chase ease, they chased purpose. And purpose is always expressed through meaningful work. Your work is your worship. This may shock you, but listen. The way you work is the loudest prayer you ever pray. If you complain, grumble, cut corners, and resent your work, your life sends a message of defeat to the universe. But if you show up with excellence, give your best, treat every task as sacred, even if no one is watching, you are declaring with your spirit, I am ready for more. I am trustworthy with responsibility. I am prepared for greatness. This is why Scripture says, whatever your hand finds to do it with all your might. Because God is not just listening to your words. He is watching your work. The lost are the blind, not the busy. Some of you feel lost because you are busy, but you see no progress. You say, I'm working so hard, but nothing is changing. But listen, being busy is not the same as being purposeful. When you align your work with intention, with vision, with the bigger picture of who you are becoming suddenly, you stop feeling lost. Because now your work is not just a task list, it is training for destiny. You are not just a cashier, you are practicing discipline. You are not just a cleaner, you are building excellence. You are not just an assistant, You are learning leadership. You are not just an entrepreneur struggling, you are mastering resilience. Shift your vision, and suddenly, the lost feeling disappears. The weight of work produces glory. I want you to imagine a gym. You walk in, and you see heavy weights lying on the floor. You pick them up, and your muscles scream in pain. You sweat. You tremble. You feel weak. Now imagine if someone whispered to you, "Drop those weights, they're too heavy." Gotsen, if you listen, your muscles never grow. You remain weak. But if you endure the pain, if you keep lifting, if you keep training, one day you realize those same weights that once broke you are now easy, and you are stronger than you've ever been. Work is that weight. It is heavy. It is painful. It stretches you. But every stretch is building unseen strength inside you. The very pressure you want to escape is the pressure that is enlarging your capacity. The three transformations of work. Let me break it down. Work transforms you in 3 dimensions. Work transforms your character. You learn honesty, discipline, humility, responsibility. Without work, people remain spoiled, entitled, and weak. Work transforms your competence. You sharpen skills, develop mastery, and gain experience. Work is the furnace where raw talent becomes refined ability. Work transforms your confidence. The more you endure challenges, the more you believe in your ability to face life. Confidence doesn't come from affirmations, it comes from experience. And work gives you that. So when you complain about work, you are really complaining about the very process that was designed to make you powerful. So hear me. When you feel lost in life, do not run from work. Do not despise it. Do not curse it. Instead, embrace it as the divine classroom, where God is teaching you lessons you cannot learn any other way. Because the truth is, you are not lost, you are being trained. And once you realize this, every day of work becomes sacred. Every struggle becomes purposeful. Every hour becomes a stepping stone into the destiny you once thought was out of reach. My friends, listen to me closely. Work is not punishment. Work is preparation. And until you see it this way, you will keep despising the very thing that was designed to raise you into greatness. When you feel lost in life, it is often because you have disconnected your daily labor from your higher calling. You see only tasks, but not transformation. You see only struggle, but not shaping. But I am here to tell you today, God hides his blessings inside work. And if you can endure, you will find that every drop of sweat was a seed, and every long night was a ladder, lifting you toward your true destiny. The work you do today builds the person you will be tomorrow. Look at your life right now. Every habit you have, every discipline you carry, every skill you use, it was all shaped by yesterday's work. The patience you now possess, it was forged when you had to wait and serve without complaint. The wisdom you now carry, it was formed when you made mistakes, learned lessons, and corrected your path. The strength you now display, it came from carrying loads that others refused to touch. So if you feel lost right now, do not despair, because today's labor is building tomorrow's version of you. You may not see the finished product yet, but the blueprint is being followed with precision. The story of the hidden builder. Let me tell you a story. A master builder once hired a craftsman to build a house. The craftsman had worked many years, and he was tired. He decided to cut corners, use cheaper materials, rush through the details, ignore the finishing. When the house was complete, the master builder handed the keys to the craftsman and said, "This house is yours. It was my gift to you all along." The man broke down in tears because the very house he built carelessly was the house he now had to live in. My friends, your daily work is the house you are building. One day, life will hand you the keys, and the question will be, did you build with excellence or with negligence? The dignity of work. Work is not just about making money. If you reduce it to money, you miss its true power. Work is the dignity of man. It is the expression of your divine image. Animals survive, but humans create. Animals consume, but humans produce. When you engage in meaningful work, you reflect the Creator himself. For the very first image we see of God in Scripture is that of a worker. In the beginning, God created. Creation itself was work. And after God finished his work, he called it good. So never look down on your work, no matter how small it seems. If God worked, and you are in his image, then your work carries divine dignity. Why the lost feel lost? Most people feel lost in life, not because they lack direction, but because they lack perspective. They look at work and see only struggle. They see a paycheck. They see effort without reward. But in truth, every act of work is a hidden investment. You are not just working for survival, you are working for identity. Work shapes who you are. Work reveals what you value. Work prepares what you will become. So when you feel lost, do not ask, where am I going? Ask instead, who am I becoming through the work I do today? The trap of comparison. Another reason people feel lost is because they compare their work to others. They say, look at him, he is ahead. Look at her, she has more. Look at them, they are already successful. But my friends, life is not a race against others. It is a race against your own potential. A farmer who plants maize cannot compare himself to another who plants cocoa. One harvests in months, the other in years, but both are on time in their season. Do not despise your journey because it does not look like another man's journey. Your work has its own appointed time. The invisible harvest. Many of you are working hard, and you feel like nothing is changing. You pray, you hustle, you give, you endure, but your life still looks the same. Let me assure you, the harvest is already growing. Just because you cannot see it does not mean it is not happening. The bamboo tree takes 5 years to break through the soil. For 5 years, the farmer waters the ground daily, and nothing shows. But in the 6th year, the bamboo suddenly shoots up more than 80 feet in just a few weeks. Did it grow in 6 weeks? No, it grew for 5 years underground. The roots were spreading, the strength was building, the foundation was preparing. That is how your work is. What looks invisible today is preparing an explosive tomorrow. Work is the cure for confusion. When people feel lost, they often sit still, waiting for clarity before they act. But clarity does not come from sitting. It comes from moving. Work, even imperfect work, is the cure for confusion, because as you move, as you engage, as you practice, as you try, you discover yourself. The path is not revealed to those who stand still. It is revealed step by step to those who walk. So if you feel lost, do not wait for a perfect plan. Start with the work in front of you. The road will open as you walk. The 3 enemies of work. But beware, there are 3 enemies that will try to rob you of the blessing of work. Laziness, the refusal to act. It kills potential before it breathes. Excuses, the art of blaming. It keeps you stuck in victimhood. Distraction, the seduction of noise. It steals your focus and scatters your energy. Guard yourself from these 3 enemies, because the lost are not those who lack opportunity, the lost are those who waste it. So I say to you, stop asking, why am I lost? Start declaring, I am being built. Your work is your training ground. Your effort is your investment. Your labor is your offering. And one day when you look back, you will realize you were never lost. You were simply being led by the hand of work into the destiny that was waiting for you all along. My beloved friends, let me ask you a question. When you look at the word work, what comes to your mind? Is it pain? Is it stress? Is it exhaustion? Or do you see purpose, growth, and divine assignment? The difference between feeling lost and feeling found lies in your definition of work. Because hear me well, work is not the enemy of your destiny. Work is the escort of your destiny. Work is the language of progress. Everywhere you look, progress speaks the language of work. A musician does not rise to mastery by dreaming of songs he works at his instrument until his fingers bleed. A writer does not produce wisdom by wishing for words he works with discipline, hour after hour, until the message comes forth. A farmer does not enjoy harvest by waiting on miracles. He works with soil, sweat, and season until the ground obeys his persistence. The world respects those who work. Not because work is glamorous, but because work is evidence that you are serious about the gift God gave you. The work that transforms you. There are two kinds of work in life: the work that pays you, the work that transforms you. Many chase only the first, but the second is where destiny is formed. When you endure hard tasks, when you embrace responsibilities you did not choose, when you push through challenges that make you cry, something is being built in you that money cannot buy. The work that transforms you is often uncomfortable, but it is holy. It shapes your patience, it refines your character, it purifies your motives. Do not despise it, for the work that transforms you today will prepare you for the throne you must occupy tomorrow. The test of hidden work. Let me reveal a secret. God often hides greatness inside unseen labor. Think of David, the shepherd boy. Nobody saw him while he fought lions and bears in the wilderness. Nobody applauded him while he played his harp alone in the field. But it was there in the hidden place that his destiny was being prepared. By the time Goliath appeared, David did not need to learn courage. He already carried it from the hidden work. The same is true for you. The hours nobody sees, the efforts nobody claps for, the sacrifices nobody praises, these are the tests of hidden work. And if you are faithful in them, the day of public reward will come. Work is worship. Some of you feel lost because you separate your work from your faith. You think God is only found in prayer, in worship, in the church service. But hear me clearly. Work itself is worship when done with the right heart. When you sweep a floor with diligence, you are honoring God. When you serve your employer with integrity, you are honoring God. When you give your best even when nobody is watching, you are honoring God. Colossians says, "Whatever you do, do it heartily, as unto the Lord, and not unto men." This means your work is your altar. Your effort is your offering. Your excellence is your incense rising before heaven. The day you begin to see your work as worship is the day you stop feeling lost, because suddenly even the smallest task becomes meaningful. The pain of work is not punishment, it's process. Yes, work is painful. It requires sacrifice. It stretches you, it drains you, it forces you to confront your limits. But pain is not punishment, it is process. Think of a seed. If the seed could scream, it would cry as the soil buries it, as darkness surrounds it, as pressure crushes it. But that pain is not its death, it is its birth. So it is with you. The pain of work is not your end, it is your emergence. Every time you endure the weight of responsibility, every time you press through the exhaustion, every time you keep going, when everything in you says quit, you are being planted for greatness. The tragedy of avoiding work. The saddest lives are not those who worked and failed. The saddest lives are those who avoided work altogether. Because to avoid work is to avoid growth. To avoid work is to avoid the furnace that forges kings. To avoid work is to live shallow, fragile, and unprepared for the demands of destiny. My friend, never envy the man who escapes labor. He may look happy for a moment, but he is empty inside. He is untested, unshaped, unready. And when the storms of life come, and they always come, he will crumble, for he has no foundation. But the one who works, he is rooted. He is built. He is prepared. The gift of ordinary work. Some of you despise your current job because it feels ordinary. But listen, it is in ordinary work that extraordinary people are made. Joseph was a slave before he was a prime minister. Moses was a shepherd before he was a deliverer. Elisha was plowing the field before he became a prophet. God does not waste ordinary work. The very thing you despise may be the very thing God is using to prepare you. So do not curse your present. Do not despise your assignment. Give it your best, for your promotion will rise out of your present faithfulness. Work is a teacher. If you allow it, work will teach you everything you need for life. It will teach you patience when results delay. It will teach you humility when tasks seem beneath you. It will teach you discipline when you must show up, even when tired. It will teach you leadership when others depend on your effort. Every job is a classroom, and every task is a lesson. The question is not, do I like this work? The real question is, What is this work trying to teach me? So I ask you again, do you still feel lost? Or do you now see that your work is not meaningless, it is divine? Work is not punishment. Work is not a curse. Work is God's tool to build you, shape you, and prepare you. And one day, when you stand at the peak of your destiny, you will look back at every struggle, every job, every long hour, and you will whisper, "Now I understand. It was all worth it." Life will never reward you for what you wish for. Life rewards you for what you work for. The feeling of being lost does not come because you lack dreams. It comes because you have not yet learned how to convert your dreams into work. The bridge between dream and reality. Every dream you carry is a prophecy of what could be. But between prophecy and fulfillment stands one bridge: work. Without work, your dream will remain in the air, a fantasy, an illusion. But with work, even the most impossible vision can become flesh and bone. Consider the great inventors, the leaders, the builders of history. They were not magicians, they were workers. Thomas Edison failed more than 0 times before he produced the light bulb. Michelangelo carved David not by wishing, but by striking hammer against stone thousands of times. Nelson Mandela endured years of prison labor before stepping into leadership. Greatness is never granted. Greatness is labored into existence. The discipline of daily work. One of the biggest lies is that success happens suddenly. No, my friend, success is daily, disciplined, deliberate work. It is waking up earlier than comfort. It is showing up when feelings say, "Stay in bed." It is pushing one more time when your body says, "I can't." The world crowns those who learn the discipline of daily work. Because success is not a single event, it is the harvest of habits. Do not look for one big moment to change your life. Instead, commit to small, faithful actions every day. Those small actions are seeds, and in time, those seeds will become forests. Work and identity. Do you know why so many feel lost? Because they have tied their identity to their job title instead of to their work ethic. A job title can be taken from you. A company can close. A position can end. But your work ethic, your diligence, your creativity, your persistence cannot be taken. It is who you are. If you want to never feel lost again, build your identity around the quality of your work, not the label on your desk. The man who works with excellence will always find opportunities. The woman who works with faithfulness will always rise. The glory in hard work. Let me tell you the truth. Easy work will not grow you. Easy work will not prepare you. Easy work will not reveal your true strength. It is hard work that brings out your best. It is hard work that forces you to discover new levels of resilience. It is hard work that prepares you to handle great blessings. Because hear me well, God will never give you a blessing your character cannot carry. And it is hard work that enlarges your capacity. Stop running from difficult tasks. Stop avoiding challenges. They are not there to break you, they are there to build you. The work that builds wealth. Money does not follow laziness. Money follows work. But not just any work, money follows value-creating work. You are not paid for time. You are paid for the value you produce in that time. That is why two people can work the same hours, but one earns 100 times more because his work creates more value. If you feel lost financially, the solution is not to beg, nor to envy, nor to complain. The solution is to increase the value of your work. Learn. Grow, sharpen your skills, expand your mind. The richer your value, the greater your reward. The resistance to work. You must understand that the human heart naturally resists work. Your flesh craves comfort. Your mind desires ease. But destiny is never found in comfort. Destiny is found in commitment. That is why most people remain average. Not because they lack talent, not because they lack opportunities, but because they refuse to push through resistance. Winners are not those who enjoy work. Winners are those who work even when they don't enjoy it. If you can train yourself to do the hard thing consistently, you will rise above the majority. Work and purpose. Let us go deeper still. Work is not just about survival. Work is not just about money. Work is about purpose. The thing you do, when done with passion, with creativity, with excellence, that is the stage where your purpose is displayed. Adam was placed in Eden to work the garden. Even in paradise, work existed. Work was part of man's purpose from the beginning, which means this: until you embrace your work, you will never fully embrace your purpose. When you commit to work that aligns with your gifts, you will feel alive. You will stop feeling lost, because every action will feel like a step into destiny, the seasons of work. But remember this: not every season of work will feel exciting. Some seasons will feel like labor without reward. Some seasons will feel like wilderness, like you are toiling for nothing. Do not be deceived. Those are not wasted seasons. They are preparation seasons. Joseph worked in prison. Moses worked in the desert. Paul worked as a tent maker. Their seasons of hidden labor were necessary for their seasons of public impact. If you are in a season where your work feels thankless, do not quit. Keep building. Keep learning. Keep sowing. The day of harvest will come. So I say to you, do not despise work. Do not run from it. Do not curse it. Work is the bridge between your dream and your destiny. Work is the classroom where your character is forged. Work is the altar where your worship is offered. Work is the soil where your future is planted. The day you begin to see work this way is the day you stop feeling lost, because suddenly every task becomes a step, every effort becomes an investment, every challenge becomes a blessing in disguise. So rise, my friend, pick up your tools, embrace your labor, for the work of today is the prophecy of your tomorrow. My friend, if you've walked with me from the beginning of this message, then I must say this: something deep within you has already started to shift. The very fact that you are here, listening, means destiny has caught your attention. And now we must close this journey together by engraving in your heart the eternal truth about work, the true definition of work. Work is not punishment. Work is not a curse. Work is not a burden you were thrown into. Work is partnership with creation. It is the way you echo the voice of God on earth. It is the way you multiply what has been placed in your hands. You see, in Genesis, God gave man dominion not by giving him everything already complete, but by giving him raw material. He gave the seed, not the tree. He gave the earth, not the house. He gave potential, not perfection. And man was instructed: work it, cultivate it, build it, expand it. So understand this: when you work, you are fulfilling your original divine assignment. Work as a sacred calling. Many think of work as something separate from worship. But let me correct that: work is worship when done with the right heart. When you approach your work with diligence, with integrity, with passion, you are offering it as a sweet fragrance to heaven. When you use your gifts to serve others, your work becomes a ministry. When you labor not just for self, but to uplift, to build, to inspire, your work becomes holy ground. Stop separating work from spirituality. Every stroke of the brush, every word written, every problem solved, every service rendered, it all has spiritual weight. Why the lost feel lost? You wonder why people feel lost? Because they look for meaning without embracing work. They want identity without responsibility. They want reward without labor. But the lost soul will never be found until it finds its place in purposeful work. Listen carefully. You don't find yourself by sitting still. You find yourself by doing, by building, by creating, by serving. Work reveals who you are. The farmer discovers his strength in the field. The leader discovers his courage in the fire of responsibility. The creator discovers his genius in the act of creation. Do not wait to feel ready. Do not wait to feel inspired. Begin to work, and in the process, your identity will be revealed. The power of consistency in work. If there is one lesson I must leave with you, it is this: consistency beats talent. A man who works faithfully every day will outshine the genius who only works when he feels like it. A woman who keeps sowing seeds daily will reap more than the one who sows only once in a while. The lost stay lost because they stop too soon. They quit when the harvest was one day away. Do not quit. Stay consistent. Every small effort counts. Every day of labor adds up. Every unseen sacrifice builds momentum. Remember this: drops of water can break the hardest stone, not because of force, but because of consistency. Work and eternal legacy. My friend, at the end of your life, people will not remember what you dreamed of. They will remember what you built. Your work is your legacy. Your work is the footprint you leave behind. It may be the children you raised, the business you built, the art you created, the lives you touched, the words you spoke, or the ideas you shared. Every stroke of effort contributes to a story larger than yourself. This is why you cannot take work lightly. It is not just about your survival, it is about the generation after you. Your children will eat from the trees you planted. Your community will stand on the foundations you built. So ask yourself, what kind of work will I leave behind? Will it testify of my diligence, my faith, my integrity, or will it vanish with the wind? From lost to found. Now let us circle back. The title of this message is Feeling Lost in Life? This will change how you see work forever. And here is the conclusion. You are not lost. You are simply unworked. You are not abandoned. You are simply undeveloped. You are not behind. You are simply uncommitted. When you change how you see work, you will suddenly realize you were never lost. You were being prepared. Your workplace, your craft, your passion, your labor, it is not your prison, it is your training ground. It is there that God molds your character, sharpens your gifts, tests your resilience, and shapes your destiny. So stop despising the process. Stop resenting the grind. Stop wishing for escape. Instead, stand tall and declare, this work is shaping me. This work is growing me. This work is preparing me. And through this work, my destiny will be fulfilled. My friend, listen well. Work with diligence. Work with faith. Work with excellence. Work with joy. Because when you embrace work, you will no longer feel lost. You will feel guided. You will feel empowered. You will feel aligned with your Creator. And one day, when you stand at the end of your journey, you will look back and see every stroke of labor was not wasted. Every effort was a stepping stone. Every challenge was a teacher. Every season of work was part of the masterpiece God was painting with your life. So rise now. Lift your head. Strengthen your hands. And embrace your work as the very pathway to purpose. Because from this moment on, you are no longer lost. You are found. You are working. You are building. And through your work, you will change the world.